So today, right now, marks episode 1, season 1 of the podcast, Yikes Podcast, brought to you by Harambe. Basically, since we don't have any sponsors, we're going to dedicate all of our shows to that beautiful gorilla who passed away too early.
And fuck that kid.
Yeah, for real. Basically, we're doing this in spite of that kid. This whole show is about how much we hate that kid. So yeah, as we said before, Yikes Podcast. The first question people ask is, why are we doing this? And I can give you not really a great reason. I could give you an okay reason. I think that, we bring some great experiences to the table. We have some good stories. We want to help build constructive and educational discussion amongst our listeners. And because why not,
That looks like semen.
And Colin has potentially semen on his socks. So that could have been a used semen rag.
No, well, I don't do that.
It could have been, though.
I guess. I mean, I masturbate, but I don't masturbate into a sock.
Into sock? I know that's a thing.
It is a thing. I don't do that. I would admit it if I did. I just don't.
I know. Well, you
it's
have
like
to
messy.
admit it.
I don't want to deal with that.
So we're gonna have some guests on here after this
I
episode.
like it.
I would not taste that at all if you are in doubt of what it could
Put
possibly
back on
be.
though. Put the sock back on.
Right. So today's just me and Colin. I'm Kyle Lenars. This is Colin Hoag.
Hi.
We are gonna just give you a nice little intro episode to our podcast, and then the next ones we're gonna have some pretty cool guests. Thinking maybe Zach Coleman, some of the Damage Boys.
Those are all terrible guests.
Some famous athletes we'll have on here.
Like Luke Favali.
Luke Favali will definitely be a
athlete.
guest because he knows how to do this stuff way better than we do.
Oh yeah, he's a radio guy.
Oh yeah, so he might be our coveted first pick as a guest if I had to pick. If this was a fantasy draft.
I thought of you, Luke.
Yeah, that was Colin's idea. So we're gonna go right into our first talking point of the day, which is the phenomenon that hit about, what was it, July 10th? Is that the date?
I don't know what the phenomenon is.
You know.
July 10th. What the hell happened July 10th?
It had to do with an app on an iPhone.
Ah, that's Pokemon Go.
Correct. What date did that come out? I think it was the 10th. Something like that.
I think it had something to do with around voting time. Pokemon Go to the polls or something.
Yeah, so there was definitely around some of the Hillary Clinton and Pokemon going to the polls. So
I forgot your initial question though. What was it?
Well, we're gonna since you're a Pokemon master, we have the luxury of having someone who's not a total noob at Pokemon. Look, I'm a level 17. I know my way around Pokemon to a degree, but we have a master, a part of our group right now.
I think master's a strong word because I'm a level 25, which, I mean, after 20 it gets ridiculous. It's like 100,000 at least every level after 20. But there's a level 30 romping around Allendale.
Well,
on Valor, which fuck them.
I'm telling you right now, I don't know anyone higher than you. And the people that have gone up very high are the people that dedicate their lives to this, and you have had your share of playing, but you have a full-time job, and you are...
I've kind of sizzled out.
Yeah, and that's what I want to bring up, and I know it's kind of an easy talking point, is this Pokemon Go, because every news channel has had some sort of dopey story on it, and there's been people who have died and all that stuff. But I wanted to talk to you about maybe what you saw as your favorite part of the game and what you saw as like the dumbest part, because the game has gotten significantly worse and it's caught a ton of shit from people.
My reason that it is amazing and my reason that is bad has not changed with the updates.
Okay.
My first reason, the reason why it's good, is the same reason everybody says. It's revolutionary. I'm not sitting at home playing. I'm walking around. Like, I still, every now and then, it gives me motivation to take the longboard, skate. So I mean, that's got to be the reason. And
Right.
then the reason it's bad, I think a lot of people have said this too. Just battling sucks. It's I would just so much rather, even though it would take a while, I'd so much rather turn based.
I think that's one of the biggest critiques of when the game first came out was, first off, there was no like tutorial on anything when it came to do with battling.
Figure it out.
It was just like smack the screen, hopefully your guy's better, and you'll win. And then you had the whole controversy of Vaporeon being better than every single Pokemon possible.
That's another thing about the battling, though. It's like, even if your guy is better, that doesn't mean you're going to do shit.
Absolutely.
Well, you can take a gym and 10 minutes later, somebody took it down with a fucking level 800 when yours is 1500 CP.
Yeah, it didn't make sense how you can just fight one guy with 6 of your own. I don't know where they got that idea from.
Yeah, that's dumb. The whole team could just knock out a gym. It should be single.
And, we're criticizing this game because we played it a lot. So we feel like we can. And we still do. I would say at least once a day for me, and it's slowed down. But
I just got a Gengar today. Very excited about that. He was shit level, but I guess that's how Gengars go.
It's one of those games that's it's not going to go away. People are like, oh, it's going to fade. 100% it can't stay at the level at what it was.
No.
Every single person had the game.
They had more than Twitter. They had more users than Twitter, I think.
Yeah, and it like passed Tinder within like the first 2 days. Like, it was out of control. But then obviously the server issue at the beginning was huge, and then they got
lost so many with that.
That was huge. They got rid of the 3-step tracking, which was a little weird because that made it really fun because you were outside and you were looking. And I get it, they had those websites that could find it for you, and they called that cheating, which doesn't make sense to me, whatever. But they really need, if they want people to keep talking about it, they need to step it up. They need to either do trading amongst trainers, or they need to just revamp the whole battle thing because it's terrible.
I care about the second one more. I really could give a shit about trading, but the battling, if they fix that, I will be completely invested. And on top of that, they may let me battle other people. But I don't even want to battle other people till they fix the battling in general, because it's stupid. It's dumb. It's boring. It's tedious. I usually, when I do it, this is something I actually do. I stand there and I'll dance at cars and shit while tapping my screen because my guy is so much fucking better than the guys I'm taking down, and because the game is so easy. If my guy's better, it's just, that's it. I fucking win. There's no competition. It's not like I have to still outsmart him or something like that. Or
I don't want this to sound bad, but there's not a ton of skill that goes into this game when it comes to battling. You're just like, it's a simple math thing. It's like, well, my guy's better, and he might be a positive to negative in regards to like, oh, my guy's water and I'm fighting a fire. You're going to win. Whereas like in the old ones for Game Boy and stuff, there was so much strategy involved with like picking which move to use. Maybe your move's gonna miss. You don't know, and the luck of a critical hit. Like there's a lot more skill, and it just seems like this was almost forced. That's like the first thing I found when all the issues came out, was that maybe they should have held on a little bit and just made sure everything was okay, or did maybe a beta run where they just saw how it was gonna react, because I don't blame them when the whole world got the game and their servers couldn't handle it. But some of their PR is in the toilet right now, and some of these issues might have been prevented if they just kind of waited a couple weeks to really make sure they had all the bugs out.
There could be strategy to battling. Like, the only instance I could see it though is like a 600 versus like a 1200.
Right.
The 600, if he knows some sort of algorithm, whatever the hell, like there might be a pattern of some sort that you can swipe
To
at a
dodge.
certain time to dodge and
Right.
take them out. I'm sure there is a way to do it, but at this point, it's just easier to level a guy up and just tap the screen. There's no hassle if you're the same level. It's not even fair. It's just click, 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 click. All right, I win. Especially because you can fight them with 6 while they have...
Well, that's the thing. That it's like you can bring 6 subpar Pokemon to a battle against a really solid guy in a gym, and chances are you'll pull it off just based off of numbers.
Yeah.
You just have more guys going against it. But I think the last question I had about Pokemon was, it was more so like, we're going to keep playing. We just hope it improves, and we hope that this company that released this game hopefully just learns from this.
Yeah.
Because they saw how strong this movement is for this dopey Pokemon. Everyone loves it. Kids that hadn't played in 10 years were like crazy about it, and it just shows that anything with Pokemon in the name is just going to sell. And that's the last point was about that whole idea on the internet where if someone came out with a Pokemon game with some Skyrim graphics, and it would break the bank.
You don't even need the graphics. It's just the concept of Skyrim, the free world roaming, and it's not follow this main quest line. You can. There is a main quest line and still close to a main quest line in Skyrim, but you can also do whatever the fuck you want to do, and that's what I want to do. Free world, and there could be sections where it's like there's a bush over here, there's something in it, you go over there, and there's also certain spots where like Charizard might be, or legendary Pokemon,
right?
and
Different caves that they're in.
And if you don't get it, the one thing I want to change from like the original Pokemon is if you don't get it, they pop up somewhere else. They're just really fucking hard to find. That's what I'd rather have instead of, you didn't get it, well, too bad. Start a new game if you want it.
Yeah, that was the toughest part of the older games, is trying to get them all.
That's why I cheat.
Yeah, there was no way you're gonna get all 3 of the legendary birds in original Yellow without fucking cheating. There's just no way.
That's why I did Missing Note every single time. At least when I played Blue. I don't know if Yellow has that.
But I never even did it. I wasted my Master Ball on like Zapdos.
See, I made infinite Master Balls with Missing Note. There's a way to get by every legendary and ignore one Snorlax and just go straight to Cinnabar Island after you beat like the 5th gym.
Right.
And then you go straight to Cinnabar Island, you fly and do that Missing Note shit, and then you've got infinite Master Balls. Everything is yours.
That's similar to the rare candy.
It's the same trick, but you just put
the
Master Ball in its place. And I did it every time because I wanted all of the legendary birds. It's almost impossible. There is a way to do it without it.
Yeah, you need.
But it's tedious.
Like with Ultra Balls,
and you need to save beforehand.
Exactly.
And restart it 8 times. And
it was not good. So the whole Pokemon, I know, the Pokemon title just sells, and if this company just gets its head straight, it's gonna do well, and we're gonna keep waiting. It's not like I really don't think a majority of people are like, nope, uninstalling. This has been bullshit. I can't take this. It's gonna sit on people's phones, and when they fix their stuff, people are gonna come back.
Yeah, I know a couple people who said they've stopped playing, but I mean, what it comes down to is they left it on their phone. They told me that. And they're going to play when they get bored. Like, that's really what I've come down to. Is I get bored a lot, and I'm always looking at my phone. I just turn on Pokemon Go every time I get bored.
Exactly.
It's the same as I used to do Candy Crush, which I'm still doing that as well, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like checking Twitter and Instagram now.
Yeah.
I just will be like, I wonder if any Pokemon's around. And
I
then
added
if not,
yeah.
shut it down. No, exactly. I just shut it down if there's nothing around, and then that's it. It wasn't like the week 1 where it was constantly up, and I was scavenging the area for Pokemon. But
I still, like, at this point, I think most people have gotten to the point where they've gotten lazy with the game.
Yeah.
And what they do is they go to a spot where there's 2 Pokestops and put up 2 lures. And on top of that, any business that's smart puts up lures on the Pokestop that's on their location. Yeah. So you just go to that place and sit there. Like my business, when I'm working, like during lunch and just downtime, I'll throw the phone up. I won't look at it much, but when I look at it, they're always on top of 2 Pokestops with lures. So I just click, do work, click.
Exactly. I think that's what it's going to be for a little bit until it starts improving. But we're going to segue into another huge game, possibly the biggest game to ever be invented, is World of Warcraft, which is a very sensitive subject for certain people, and I know it was back in the day, but Colin and I have had our share of playing World of Warcraft.
I call it the heroine of games.
Without a doubt. You don't really feel proud of admitting.
You don't. I've never felt proud.
No, but God, you never felt so good playing a game.
It's such a good game, but I literally, the way I tell people is like, I used to play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you say it like under your breath, you're like, what's your favorite game? And you'd be like, oh, I played Halo, I played, Grand Theft Auto, I played World of Warcraft. And they're like, what was that last one? You're like, shit.
Nothing. WoW. Something. I didn't say WoW, but something close to that.
Yeah, and in high school, we never told anyone. That was like.
But there was a decent group of people that you found out played. It was like an underground group.
It was so hush.
Where, like, I could name some of the people that did it, but at the same time, it's like.
Oh, I will blow up someone's spot right now. The best story I have with WoW is we started playing probably freshman year of high school, so we were like 14, and we played on Connor's account.
For years.
Connor Brady's
account. At least for years. You got at the game quicker, but
I was like, I need to buy my own. This is awesome. So
I
we
didn't
played.
have a computer.
Well, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
It was an investment. You couldn't just like pop it in your Xbox. It was an investment.
All in all, computer included, I spent thousands of dollars on that game.
Exactly. It sucks looking back.
I just regretted saying that.
Yeah. So
Can we take that off?
Yeah, we might. No. So Connor Brady, we played at his house, and it was a lot of fun. But obviously, it was like really early. I think it was Burning Crusade, and it was cool, but it was kind of boring when you only had one computer to play on. So I was like, I gotta get my own. And then I met Brian Merck at Northern Highlands, where we went to high school, and we started talking, and he was like, yeah, I actually play World of Warcraft also. But it was like one of those conversations you have where you don't want to say it first. You kind of want the other person to say it. And it's a tough conversation to start, but then once you have it going, you're like, oh, this is good. Someone else shares this weird obsession like I do, and now it brought Brian and I way closer. And then he also told me that his buddy Connor Brightly, different Connor, also plays. So I brought it up to Connor Brightly. I just very quietly, I just was like, hey, do you play video games? And he was like, yeah, I play a lot. I play like Madden and stuff. I was like, oh, you wouldn't happen to play WoW? And he was just like,
what?
Yeah, he just like a ghost. He was like,
who told
no.
you?
And I was like, oh, you don't? He's like, no. I was like, okay. And then the last thing I said, I was like, I do. I was just wondering. And then he like looked at me and he was like, you do? I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I do too. I was like, you fucking just lied. He's like, it's just tough to tell people. I was like, I know, but you just have that small group, and we played a ton. I think if we looked up all of our characters combined played, it would be horrifying. It'd be months for me.
I can guess. I know the number of my main guy was high 30s, if not hit the low 40s.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last number I remember. Yeah, for days. We're talking days here. 36 days was the last number I remember, but that could have been a couple months before I stopped playing.
And that's one guy.
That's one character, and I had in total, I created 25 characters, but the ones I actually played were more around 8 characters.
Yeah. And
I know I alone, at least to 85, I had 4 or 5 guys. I had a couple guys at 80. I think I got my main guy up to 90. In fact, I didn't check him at 90. If I activated my account, I'd probably be 45 hours a day's played.
For one guy.
For one guy.
I mean, at the height of our playing, we were in, I would say, like, our highest point was probably during Lich King.
Oh, that was the best one in my opinion.
Yeah, because we were all max level, and all of us, it was like a group of 7 of us or 8 of us, and we were geared enough that we weren't like watching from the sidelines. We could do almost anything that came out.
I could do Lich King. I just never got a group to do it with.
Yeah.
I also didn't trust my. Okay, I didn't know the fights, and that's another thing about this game. You had to look up the fights, and you had to study the hell out of them just so you can do them. And that's in Lich King, which apparently people said Lich King was easy compared to the others. And it was still. I tried Lich King. I only got to like the third or fourth boss every time. I never got the Lich King.
Yeah, that was it was, but it was a ton of fun. It didn't like that. The fact that you had to look up things and it wasn't like hand given to you. It was just really, it was a different experience for everyone. And then you just felt so invested in your one character. Like especially everyone had their alts that they leveled up, but you had your one guy that you just felt really invested in. You got like their professions up, and you like really made sure you mastered that class. And then, you know, the game took a little bit of a turn. You get older, you move on from it, you come back, you take different breaks from it and stuff. But I would have to say that, like, the amount of time on my guys played would have to be, and this, it sucks saying, but, like, over 60 to 70 days, just because of alts and different things, which is, like, if you take that and put it into like any other thing, like you could learn like 3 languages, you can like, it sucks, but like we had a ton of fun doing it. And I mean the one question that I had with World of Warcraft is like, there's a new expansion coming out, and I think either the end of August or early September. I mean, I haven't played in a while, but in a perfect world, would you go back to playing WoW?
Perfect world means I have a good computer, right?
You have a computer. You have the access to like paying the monthly fee.
If I had enough money to easily pay for the fee, if I had more time, that's the biggest thing. I don't have any time on my hands.
Yeah.
To play something like World of Warcraft. I don't have any time on my hands to play the game Overwatch, also by Blizzard. And I swear we're not working for Blizzard.
Yeah, we really aren't.
but
we could shit on them too.
Yeah, I mean, I could shit on World of Warcraft. No, I can't. I really can't. I love that game. Yeah. I love it. It is literally like a drug for me. And if I start playing, it's gonna suck me in. I'm gonna think about it at work. It's gonna ruin my life straight up.
Yeah, you have like when we would play a lot, I'd have like WoW dreams. I'd wake up and be like, wow, I need to like go do something outside because I just had a dream about playing a game. But we had a ton of fun playing it. I think in a perfect world, for me, I have the computer upstairs that I built. The only thing that really blows is the cost. I just don't like see myself paying, $14 a month for a game. I just can't. I can't bring myself to do that yet until like later on in my life. But again, it's a huge time thing, and that's where I think Overwatch is such a perfect counter to it, because World of Warcraft, you log in, and you're either logging in to dedicate yourself like an hour to 3 hours of doing something, or you're logging in to check mail and then auction house, whatever, and then you're logging out. Whereas, so you're dedicating a ton of time, and if you're not, like, there's no reason for you to play. You're just going to be wasting your own money because you're paying a monthly fee and you only can play for a half hour. It just doesn't make sense. So this game Overwatch is perfect. You log in, put it in your PlayStation, your Xbox, or on your PC, and you're like, all right, I got 15 minutes before I go to the gym. I can play Overwatch and then go to the gym.
Which is why I brought up Overwatch, because I barely have enough time to play that game.
Yeah.
And that's 15, 30 minutes. You know what? I could play for one game for 10 minutes, and then that's it. Yet I still, you know what? Yes, I do have some time for it, but when it comes down to it, I get home, I'm tired from work. Most days, at least in the past week or so, I've been working out, so it's like I go to the gym, do a run or whatever. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, come home, I'm exhausted. I can't play that. I can't play anything.
Yeah, World of Warcraft, besides being just like one of the most outstanding games, is a game where it's justified if you have so much playing time dedicated to it. Because if you don't, you're just not doing it right. That game is meant for you to put hours and hours into, or else it's just not a good experience.
Yeah.
And I think that's the pro and the con of it, is that it is so life consuming, but it just is amazing at the same time. But that's also the biggest thing about WoW. As we've gotten older, is you can't play alone because it sucks.
You can't, and that's another thing where with WoW, we played for years, a couple years where it was pretty steady. All of us playing whenever we had the time. It was late high school, mid to late high school, I think was the time, a couple of years there, where you only had school. So when you came home, you had homework, whatever. I'll be honest, I never did my homework because I was an awful fucking student. But, I mean, at least with my friends, you, Connor, you guys you did your homework and then you went on World of Warcraft and we all played. I just went on World of Warcraft, so there was a couple hours. You know what? Even when I just went on by myself, I always had someone to play with. Because Joe Connell didn't stop playing. Shout out to Joe Connell. He is the best World of Warcraft player I know. Yeah, I'm gonna probably say as well.
Arguably one of the best video gamers to ever
live.
Live.
He I believe was paid to. I think he sold an account or he paid to level a guy up or something like that. Either way, he got paid to play World of Warcraft. He did Twitch.
Yeah.
He had people watching him on Twitch, and it was like a decent amount of people. He was incredible. That's another thing about World of Warcraft, though, where he played, but he wasn't part of our group, so he was on a different server.
And he did his own thing.
Connor and Brian were on a different server.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Connor, and Landon, and there was a couple others. Evan. That was our main group. But even still, I can name like 5 more players from high school. Paul Ghetto, Chris Morris, Brendan Bigley.
No, it was a game that at its pinnacle was like the most popular game on the planet. But it's so funny how it just caught so much shit for being like the nerdiest game. But
and you know what, that's the thing. It really wasn't, because people I think associate a game like that with Dungeons and Dragons, which by the way, that's also making a comeback right now.
Right.
At least on the internet, people seem to be embracing it, and
I think that's the whole Game of Thrones, like that whole time period just like is big. People like think that's awesome, and I'm all for it. I think it's really cool. But
you want to take some of this and pour it into yours or something?
No, I'm good.
All right. But yeah,
I think WoW is revolutionary. I think that in a perfect world, I'd love to play, but it's just the pay per month is kind of crappy. But I did hear that this new expansion is like their shit is gonna be insane because they waited so long for this one to come out, because usually they're on like a yearly basis. This one I believe is 2 years.
I like that they did that. It's like when you get to the top, like the only game I ever did that with was Lich King. It really is just amazing actually getting to, for somebody who I feel we played normal. There's obsessive, there's normal, and then there's doesn't have enough time. After high school, I didn't have enough time. I was a not enough time player, and I would always just get to the top level, and I didn't have enough time to do dungeons and shit like that, so I just leveled a new guy.
Yeah, exactly.
We, during high school, were the normal players. We played enough to get to the top level. We played enough to do decently at it, but we did not play enough to be masters at it. And then over the top players, they freaking just, they have time to play. They don't stop playing. And you know what? I'll be honest. If I won the lottery or something, I was able to just sit back. Maybe I'm on, maybe I broke my leg at work and I'm getting workman's comp for 3 months. I would play World of Warcraft 100%.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't have somebody to play with, because I know with World of Warcraft especially, you join a leveling guild, you join anything, there's a great sense of community. You find online friends, and you just you just expect to see them online. You play with them. It's great.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the next point that we were going to talk about today was we're going to have guests on a lot. Obviously not today. Maybe not every time, but I would like to. I think that'd be cool. So I have a list of questions I want to ask every guest. So I'm going to ask you, Colin, and I will answer also. So these are hot questions. Colin does not know they're coming.
Real quick, I was online. I'm just trying to figure out, can I figure out the amount of time played from my account? Because I figured out how to log on.
I think you have to log into your actual the actual game and type in /played. And that's what
You can't look at it from online.
I don't know.
That's dumb. Game time is no. That's actual paying
that's
for
paying
it.
for time.
All right. Oh, all right. Moving past it.
So these are the questions that we're gonna ask each of our guests, just to get a feed for the audience to get a nice idea of who these guys are. So we figured I'll ask Colin to get his idea. So first question is, what is a pet peeve of yours that is actually kind of weird that most people don't have? So people's normal pet peeves are like, they don't like when people chew with their mouth open, or they don't like seeing people bite their nails or something like that. What would you say your pet peeve that's a little odd?
I mean, as far as odd, I mean, it starts off general. At least I have a general one that I think other people might have, but I can narrow it down with some odd instances.
Okay.
That being sneezes and coughs being too loud.
Right. Obnoxious sneezing and coughing.
Or just, like, I can be more specific with it. And I feel like a dick, honestly, for having this. I get angry at myself because when somebody's sneezing, they're fucking sneezing. Like, what am I going to, like, stop fucking sneezing. Like, no, but one instance is my dad. He has some sort of hypersensitive nose, and he goes on sneezing fits. I'm talking 10 plus sometimes.
Whoa.
And it's not, like, I can give an example, but I'd break the mic. It's like, but louder, like higher pitch, it's loud.
Is it it's startling? Like the first one, is it like, what the hell? Oh, it's a sneeze.
No, I will say, I mean, I think I have some sort of ADHD or some shit, because I'm constantly looking around and literally observing everything, and I can see when it's about to happen.
Right.
He has that face. He puts his head back, and he's got that like closed eye look, like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like,
and
oh
then,
shit.
And then it's just 10 plus. It sucks.
God.
And then the funny thing is the cough thing being too loud. The instance for that would be the other one, my mom. And I'm sorry to both of you right now. Like, I really do feel like a dick, because like you're coughing and you're sneezing, they're fucking natural shit.
Just call
and
them
I have
out
an
on
issue.
Who they are.
My mom's cough is like piercing. It's a really high pitched cough. It's like she uses the top of her throat to cough, like all the way the fuck up there, but like really loud.
Yeah.
And it hurts my ears every time. I do that thing where you can hear loud noise and like you close your eyes, like, because it's like fireworks where you're like half winking the entire show, like, whoa.
Yeah.
All right. But those are, I guess, the weird ones. They're more dick than weird, I feel like.
No,
but
that's fair. I mean, you can't really control your pet peeves either. Like that.
Yeah.
If I could not
my
have
pet peeve is my dumb pet fucking peeves.
If I could not have pet peeves, that'd be awesome. But I have shit that bothers me. I mean, I would say one of my bigger pet peeves is I listen like really closely to how people talk, and if I like am listening to someone who's constantly one-upping someone, or like just talking about them the whole time, it like, I just want to like look at them in the face and be like, do you listen to how fucking stupid you sound right now? Because and no one else, I mean, I don't want to say no one else, but people don't pick up on it, or they just don't care as much as I do. But it drives me nuts when like someone's like, oh man, like my brother, like he was playing football today and he did really well, and then you just have a guy that's just like, yeah, well, my brother plays soccer and he's so good at it, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, the guy's just trying to say something about his brother. You don't have to like one up it and just say something cool about your brother. Like, you don't look good.
Yeah, my pet peeves are totally more peevy.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me want to just hit you right in the face for
I tried. It was that's a Hoag sucks moment.
Yeah, it just kills me.
I will say, if we talk about habits, I've got weird habits.
That is actually another question of mine, was if you have any weird / habits that you're not proud of.
Oh, I'm not proud of my habits. I like any of the habits I've ever had. Like, I've got like nervous habits, and they're all negative.
Okay.
Except for one of them. One of them's just really weird. I've never met somebody else that has the habit. But these other ones I have seen people do.
Okay.
One initially was head scratching. Actually, you know what? If we start all the way back in middle school, I had acne and I picked at it.
I think that's normal though.
Yeah, all right. Well, I did
that's
that
sort
at
of like
first.
an untalked about
Yeah.
normal thing that like is frowned upon, but if you do it in your own home, I would say that is not that weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's hygiene to a degree, right? Maybe
Yeah.
we're just fucking weird.
Well, it's not hygiene. Honestly, that's how you get pock marks. Like
Yeah.
when you see somebody with a really pocked up face, like it either they had acne they couldn't control that was so severe and it just did that, or it was them picking at the few acne they had and created actual pocks in their face. But yeah, that was my initial weird,
right.
not weird, habit though, and then it moved on in high school to scratching my head. I would find it's the same thing really, where I'd find like
Bumps
on my head and scratch them off, and I think that's initially where I think I have psoriasis, if you know what that is. Yeah, I or just really bad dandruff, and I think that
probably didn't help.
Fueled it, and I got it worse and worse and inflamed the skin and all that.
Yeah.
And then that eventually turned into the most recent thing, which is really weird.
Is this the one that no one does?
No, that's a different line of habits.
Okay.
That's more like meditation, like soothing for me, but I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
The last one I've been doing it recently. I don't know how to stop doing it. I really need to stop. Maybe you got to get a stress ball or something, but I've been pulling out my beard.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. It's not good. It looks weird to do it. I'm making my beard patchy.
Yeah.
It's specifically on the right side, if you can see it. I trimmed today, so it's pretty short.
That'll help then.
But I have seen somebody pulling out their hairs before.
Yeah. That's not as weird, but I mean, I would say that that's a tough one.
Well, the instance I've seen is the eyebrows. If
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
I
about.
know exactly who you're talking about.
Well, let's go with TF and leave it.
We'll leave
No,
it
we might even beat that out. I think we should. By the way, we should bleep all the last names that we've said.
That's true.
That aren't going to be on the show or anything like that.
We'll bleep some people.
All right. And then the final habit.
This is highly anticipated.
Different topic though. It's more of a meditation. Whenever you're at home, you've got your floors. That's generally the best place for me to do this habit. There are those tiny sand like pebbles all over the floor, right? Basically dirt, just random dirt and shit
dust
like that.
and
Dust and dirt and whatever. Like it could be food scraps. It can be nasty. It's. But what I do is, I try to find the very perfect size one. Usually try to be round as well. I don't know where I got this, but as soon as I find the perfect size one, I roll it between my index finger and my thumb. I don't know why I do it. I don't know where it came from, but I started doing it from a very young age. You're like the second or third person I've told about this.
And now the world will know.
Yeah, it's literally in the past month I've told 2 other people. It's actually in what I believe we're going to use as the opening song.
Oh, it's the song they will hear.
It's in the second verse.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if that's what we're gonna play. We'll find out later. We're in the past right now.
Yeah, this is like Spaceballs.
Yeah.
When will then be now?
Oh, just a second ago.
Soon.
Well,
that I would say that's not really weird. I would say that's just unique. I mean, the fact that it's dirt is a little.
Yeah, that's I usually. No, I'm not gonna lie. I don't wash my hands.
No one washes their hands.
Well, I wash my hands after I go to the bathroom and shit. But I don't wash my hands after I rub my hand off the dirt fucking ground because I'm a dirty person. I guess I don't know.
I would say I have the common habit of biting my nails, and I've done that since I was fucking born. People are it's a bad habit, and I would love to find the research that it is bad.
Well, I'll say you're only biting your nails, and I've seen not nails but the skin around nails.
Oh.
I've seen that before.
No, I just bite my nails. Honestly,
that's good.
I do it when I'm nervous. I can tell, but sometimes I'll literally do it because I don't want to clip them. I don't remember the last time I clipped. I don't think I've ever clipped my nails.
See, that's the thing. Like, and your nails are trimmed though,
They're
so I don't
always
really
trimmed
see
every
that as
day.
a terrible habit. I
don't. I think maybe they don't like that it's a nervous thing, and I get that. But the people that think that this is a bad thing could go kick rocks, because there's nothing wrong with cutting your nails.
And then I hope you pull an Aragorn, if you know what I'm talking about.
Explain to our
Aragorn was the one of the main guys in Lord of the Rings, and during the filming of Lord of the Rings, he kicked. It might have been a helmet, actually, not a rock.
I think it was a helmet, right.
But I thought it was a rock, and he broke his foot during the filming.
That guy was a warrior.
That's a fun fact for you guys. There's however many people are listening to this.
All 500 of you.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be fucking outstanding.
I'd be very happy with
that. So that's probably my worst. Not my worst, but one of my bad habits. The other one is similar to like your dirt one. I have a wool blanket that I've had for a while, and I've picked it apart because it has so many almost like dead ends. So
is that the pink one?
Yeah, that's that pink red one. I just will pick it apart, and I think it's really messed with it, because it's obviously I'm taller, but it's significantly smaller because I've just kind of.
I think it was one of those blankets. But it's like for years I had a pillow that just was mine. It was a piece of shit pillow, but I still held on to it because it was my childhood pillow.
I used to suck my thumb back when I was really little, but that was put to a stop real quick, because that's a little weird. Also, that negative, I remember going to the doctor for that when I was 5, because if you suck your thumb, you're actually pushing your teeth out.
Whoa!
If you're doing it when you're sleeping and stuff,
so you look like D's nuts.
Yeah, you could really
D's
mess up your. Yeah, we know D's is listening, so we don't want to bother him, but it could actually really mess up your teeth alignment. So I kind of heard that, was even as a young lad, I was I don't really want to do that, because that's not cool, and I got over that. I think I wore socks to bed on my hands, and you can't really suck on your thumbs if you're wearing socks. And a week of that, it was gone.
You know, it reminds me of my younger years, and I had an issue that I don't think I've even told you or anybody.
Is this breaking news?
This could be breaking news for a lot of people. I was a pretty late bedwetter.
How late are we talking?
I don't remember the age. Thinking back on
8?
it, I really don't. I think honestly 10.
10.
10, maybe a little later. I don't know. At this point, my childhood seems like one big block of
from age 6 to 12 is the same time.
I just say 12 for every age between 6 and 14.
If it was before high school, you were 12.
Yeah, you were just 12. Yeah. How old were you? 12 every time.
That also is a great segue into a story where Colin was skiing on a mountain or snowboarding.
I was 12 for that.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you actually 12? Or
yeah.
Probably 12.
Yeah, it's 12.
We'll go with 12.
Yeah. When I was 12, I was a little new to snowboarding. It was a couple of years into snowboarding. It was with my dad and my brother. Well, we were with the whole family. We were going up and down. I think it was at Sugarbush. And
that's in Vermont?
Yes, in Vermont.
Nice.
Great place. They got Waffle House on the mountain, which is the waffles and sugar and chocolate.
But you were always a skateboarder, so at least it wasn't you were a noob.
I couldn't even ollie. I was a little bitch.
That's true. You were kind of a phony.
I was. Well, I mean, I tried.
You were
I
phony.
was tiny. I was a tiny kid. I couldn't even shoot a layup until I was 12. Because it was too high.
You were 12.
I was 12.
Damn it. So you were at Sugarbush.
Sugarbush, we're going down for it's late in the day, so my dad and my brother are let's do a final run. And it's my older brother. I don't know what happened to James. But honestly, he was probably sick because we always went up at like Christmas time, and every Christmas James got sick. Every single one of them.
Sucks.
Like it was without fail. He got sick on Christmas Day. But we went up for a final run. We're going down the mountain, and my dad and Ken, my older brother, are on skis.
And your dad was a good skier.
My dad was a great skier, and Ken is 2 years older than me. So I mean, he at this point is far more developed. He's also like 6 foot already. When I was 12 versus when he was 12, we were both 12 at the same time.
Yeah.
So he was 2 years older. He was like 6 foot. I was like 4'8". I was a tiny kid. So they're cruising down the mountain. They decided to go down Glades. And I mean, for somebody who's new at Glades, I mean, even if you're good, in my opinion, at least, snowboards have a hard time in Glades.
Yeah.
It's a bitch. And they go into the Glades. I'm following them. I had this thing when I was younger where I would not poop in public bathrooms.
That's a very common thing, but yes.
But it was an extreme extent where I'm telling you, one time, even like at a beach house that we rented for 6 days, I wouldn't do it. 6 fucking days I didn't poop. I think it was 6. I think it was something like that. It was 5 or 6 days. It was way too long to not
but
poop.
this was like your own home. Like you
No.
guys had rented this.
Yeah, but still,
It wasn't because it wasn't your bathroom.
Dude, I was a weird kid.
So like even at school.
Oh, I mean, there's a story right there. We got another story about school right up next.
Let's stay with the sugar bush.
So yeah, so I the reason I brought that up in the first place is I didn't poop all day. At this point, I learned to poop even at the houses we rented.
Okay.
I finally grew some balls, but I was trying to hold it in, and I mean, you could tell where this story's heading.
So you pooped your pants.
Well, we're going down the Glades, and I'm trying to hold it in. Every bump though is like, oh shit!
God.
It's like, nope, not yet. It's right there though. I'm prairie dogging it.
Yeah.
And they're up ahead. All of a sudden, too big of a drop. I want to say it was a shart, but it was like a little more than a shart. It was like a shart plus some.
Was it like a pants ruiner? Like where your underwear just ruined? Like
They were tossed out.
they.
But we're going down the mountain. You know what? I think maybe because I was wearing layers, it didn't stay in a very solid form either. It was kind of a mess down there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was awful. And the thing is, we're halfway up the mountain when this happens, so I had to snowboard half out of Glades with shit in my pants. Well, not a lot of shit, but there was some shit in my pants. And finally, we get down the mountain. I head into the stall, and
You did the shovel tactic.
I pulled off my underwear in the stall and wiped that shit, and then just took the underwear, folded them up in a way that I can hand them to my dad, who tossed them in the trash because he was outside. He had just bought a new pair of underwear for me.
Nice.
And tossed them over.
Those are probably really cheap at the ski
Oh,
shop.
yeah, like $15 for one
One
pair of kids' tidy
Yeah.
whities or some shit. I don't even know what they were, but he got me a new pair. And yeah, that was... You know what? That was not end of the day because we kept going.
That's a tough way to keep going. Too.
Well,
After
I mean,
that,
I
you kinda
cleaned
just,
up, though,
Yeah,
like-
but you just want to kind of just like I guess that's the only way to counter that is just to get
You
right back
can't
on
let
the
the
horse.
day defeat you.
Yeah, you just get back on the horse and keep going.
But I mean-
That's a good story though. God, I love that fucking
I can go into that other story.
Do we want to save that story?
We can say,
We're
you know
gonna
what? How about a shit story a week?
Yeah, I think that's a great
Because
plan.
guess what? I got
There's a
some
lot
shit
of them.
stories.
The
They're not all about me. I've got some about other people.
Good.
Maybe I should ask them if I could say them.
nah, forget them.
Fuck it.
Here's the another question we wanted to ask each guest, and we're going to each week. Who do you find as the hottest woman on the planet if you had to pick one?
Shit.
And it can't be, well, you know, there's the one. You got to just throw one name.
That's like an It's like asking what's your favorite movie. I don't have a favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
It's a tough question, but you got to just say one.
And
then you'll like piss yourself off when you think of another person.
I mean, and every single one of them gonna go, well, like, I mean, they're both kind of good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna be able to settle. But for some reason, whenever this question's asked, there's always one name that comes to mind, and I don't even think this is at the very top of my list. It's definitely up there, but it would be Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
Because she's just got such a nice bosom, and they look like they're real. They do. I said bosom.
Yeah, you were very PC on that one.
Yeah. She's got nice titties.
That's more like it.
But
she's a little older. You went for the older.
Well, she is, but I mean, when the crush first started, I was in high school, and we're talking about 6 years. That's 6 years ago. Graduated high school.
Yeah, so she was in a young or 30s prime.
But don't get me wrong, I'd still go for that. That's true.
She does look.
She's probably gonna look good into her 50s. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
I think that question is tough with everything you've said. The one girl that I have to go with is that girl, Margot Robbie. That's her last name, right?
I think so. Roby. I think it's Roby.
Yeah, I think it is Roby. Whatever it is, you all know the Wolf of Wall Street chick. She's Harley Quinn.
Yes. She reminds me of Jamie Presley. She's Joe Dirt, but like she's a hotter version. And Jamie Presley's very good looking as well.
She is. Jamie Presley in her prime was like crazy. Yeah. She was in Not Another Teen Movie too, right? She was the
She was the
T to the Y.
T to the fourth power Y.
Yeah. God damn it.
Hold on, let's see this real quick.
Oh, we have our first clip of the day, brought to you by
Margot Robbie.
Oh.
It's not a clip. I just was getting the pronunciation there.
It's
Margot Robbie.
So I did say it right.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
And also, Sofia Vergara was 44. I got facts over here.
She's 44.
She's 44 and still very, very doable.
Yeah, she was in her 30s when she was in her prime, like, Modern Family age and stuff.
Well, prime in her career. But, I mean, I saw her in a movie. I don't know what the fuck movie it was, but she was like... Yeah, she was like somebody's like girlfriend in a house, and she was just running around and screaming in Spanish, I think.
That's good.
But she was like late 20s, and she was
looking
so hot.
Yeah. Margot Robbie's mine. I just think she's just a fucking 12 out of 10, without a doubt. The other question, and this is a really tough. They get tougher and tougher as they go on. Actually, this might be one of the last ones. You are going to have a threesome, but it's with another dude. What dude are you picking for this threesome? And the girl can be obviously, it's, generic supermodel A, but you have to pick with a dude.
Well, I'm not. I guess the question doesn't involve the female at all.
It's not about your female response.
That's a bitch.
Yeah, it's like, it is a tough question. There's so many ways to go about answering this, or attacking this, if you will. I mean, if I'll go first with my response would be, I don't know per se who I'd want to do it with, but how I would attack it with, and I'll give you an answer after I give you my explanation, is I think the person would have to be less attractive than me, in my opinion. So, like, I couldn't do it with, like, a really attractive person, like, guy-wise, quote-unquote, like a Channing Tatum or, like, one of those, like, movie star guys. It'd have to be, like, a dude, like, Seth Rogen, or, like, someone, someone dopey.
My dick's in her mouth. You got a dick in your pussy. No.
It would have to be someone, like where I would not feel bad about myself, and at least I'd have fun doing it. But it can't be someone I know, because it would just ruin everything. So those are my ways of attacking that. Is someone that is a stranger, funny-ish, that you can, like, laugh about it after and never see the person again, and also not as attractive and, like, probably fat. So I would pick Seth Rogen or Jonah Hill. Those would be my two. Seth Rogen or Jonah Hill.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. But for some reason, I think I'd rather the person be attractive.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say?
I don't know, because I feel like just the person, just like Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, I feel like they're not as clean. And it's like, if they're in the same bed and shit, and like we're doing the same
What
role.
if they were completely clean and you're not going to catch any
Well, no, I'm not talking about diseases
cold
here or anything.
Oh,
I'm
you're talking about just grossness.
Just like, I mean, they're kind of...
Oh, so you're...
The grossness just being in the area would throw me off.
Just like the flabbiness and like...
No offense, once again, even though they're not listening, but...
Seth and Jonah aren't listening?
Yeah, no, they don't care about us.
Oh, shit.
And honestly, I probably was going to pick more of a generic answer, like Channing Tatum. It's funny you said Channing Tatum.
We are on the total opposite.
A total opposite. Just
right,
like...
That's fair.
Throw it out, just one random fucking... It could be like Channing Tatum or like Brad Pitt or some shit. Just one of the attractive males of Hollywood.
Right.
Channing Tatum, if I had the final answer, Channing Tatum for some reason, it's just like, that's the one. He's the guy. But at the same time, if he's gay, I wouldn't want him there, because then he might be going for me.
Well, he's married.
So he's... Okay, so I think there was rumor at some point, it's like, oh, he might be gay.
I think those are people that are just jealous of someone that's semi-attractive. But yeah, he's married and has kids.
Well, there's that.
I think
you know what? No. I just got my answer. I realized it. It's kind of like a middle ground.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes he doesn't look great. Chris Pratt.
Ah.
Because sometimes he doesn't look great, but either way, he just seems like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Just a guy.
Like Jurassic Park Chris Pratt, or like...
Well, Jurassic Park Chris Pratt was more jacked.
Yeah.
But I mean, really just Chris Pratt just doing whatever. Like, whatever the fuck. He's a random... It's literally, it could be whatever. Like, he could be fat, he could be... It's like, you don't even know. I don't even want to know. It's just, pick one.
Yeah.
He's there. Oh, surprise.
So, those are some of the questions we'll be asking guests. We have a ton of stories we're going to share.
Question. Female guests, do they have to answer the female side of that?
Yeah, they would definitely have to.
Okay.
We're not giving them two males. This is supposed to make people feel horrible about themselves, potentially.
Oh, I don't feel horrible. That's the thing. I don't think I have feeling.
Yeah, especially a hypothetical. If you're one of those people that's like, no, I can't.
I won't answer that, because I'll be gay if I do. Like, dude, first off, fuck you.
Yeah. How about you just like have some sort of self-pride and not be so weird about your whole self-esteem. You're not gay if you answer a question about calling another dude attractive.
You're
or something.
gay for not answering.
Yeah, we could call you a weirdo for being so self-conscious, but...
Also, by the way, I don't mean gay as in homosexual. You can be homosexual. I don't care.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We're very pro everyone here, except for terrorists, and except for the kid that made Harambe die.
Once again, this episode's about removing that kid from wherever he is.
That kid's
Get him out of the house.
Yeah, he's gonna grow up and be like. Hopefully it'll click, and hopefully he does amazing things in life. Because if he becomes like a degenerate or like a person in jail, my God,
Harambe died for this son of a bitch.
Like, he's got to be at least like...
Put him in the cage.
He should work... You know what? If he grows up and becomes like a zookeeper and like is really good with animals, that'd be kind of cool. Or like...
And then one day a gorilla shoots him in the face.
then then he'll have to realize that these gorillas don't forget, and they're probably going to kill him. But hopefully he lives a really good life. We're really not trying to shit on him, but he took away Harambe by default for falling into the cage or whatever happened to him. He fell in, right?
Yeah, he fell in. You can't really blame the kids as much as the parents. Like, why aren't you watching your kid? Why are you letting your kid fall into a cage that has a gorilla in it? A gorilla.
Yeah. It's not like it was like a bird exhibit.
Oh, it's the penguin exhibit.
John just fell in. It's all right.
Yeah, he fell in the water. The 10 feet deep water they swim in. He's all right. Unless he doesn't know how to swim, then he drowns.
Well, then that would be horrible too.
Well,
but then Harambe wouldn't be dead.
Harambe wouldn't be dead. Not gonna say it should have happened, but I'm not gonna say it shouldn't have.
Oh God. Well, I think that wraps up our
Yikes.
episode. How God damn it. All right. Well, Our signing off is this is Yikes Podcast, episode 1. Want to thank all of our guests.
Oh no, I didn't think of a sign off. I need a sign off. I need a finisher.
Well,
how am I gonna get them?
You don't need it for this one.
No, I need one.
Thanks to all of our guests, all of our sponsors, which are no one and no one.
Can I just take someone else's? Remember to get your pet spayed and neutered.
Yep. I was gonna use Michael K. See ya when someone hits a home run for the Yankees, but I hate Michael K. But that's it. Hope you guys liked our podcast. Please subscribe, like, comment, do a bunch of cool stuff.
Where are we even posting this on?
That's a great question. We're gonna be on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, Instagram.
SoundCloud only gets so many free hours.
MySpace.
For the 2 people that are still on MySpace,
AOL.
Tom and
But that's it. Thanks for listening. Or not.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Yeah, fuck 'em.
2:30 piece of shit. I pop some Ritalin, just a little bit, and I act like a little kid. I fold on random stories, growing old is mandatory, while growing up is optional. At least I'm not 8 years old and Papa Tail, but I haven't dropped the bills, got the wheels, got my